Yes, my people, what's happening? It's Big Yms here. Obviously, I should have done my post-fight reaction and whatnot to the UFC fight night in London, but obviously I've been very busy over the weekend. Those of you that have seen the video of me at the O2 asking some fans questions, I had to edit that video over the weekend, and also on the Saturday, those of you that have seen the video as well would have seen that I bumped into Combat Kings, and yeah, they've got a YouTube channel where they live stream. They even have a podcast where they talk about different MMA topics. They give their reviews, reactions, and whatnot. And they've also got an Instagram, so follow them on Instagram. But yeah, after I bumped into them, they actually invited me on their show to stream live with them to get the reaction. So I went down to stream with them. So yeah, if you haven't seen my reaction to the card, go on Combat Kings YouTube channel. I'll leave a link. I left a link in the last video, but I'll leave a link in this video. And go watch it, man. Give them a follow, give them a subscribe. But yeah, let's get into the to the card. I didn't get to see all the fights, so I'm going to start from the fights that I did get to see. I need to actually, when I get some time, I'm going to take some time to watch the fights. And unfortunately, let me quickly give a shout out to, forgive me if I say your name wrong, bro, if you do watch this video, Abir. I met a guy called Abir on Saturday, and obviously his coach, Guram, fought. Unfortunately, he lost. But shouts out to Abir and his team. They were all cool people. They came all the way from Sweden just to support. So shouts out to them. But yeah, let's get to the fight that I did get to watch. And just bear in mind, I got to watch some fights before I pulled up to Combat Kings. And then obviously on the way, like an idiot, I decided to listen to music instead of watching the fights. I don't know why I did that, because usually I would watch the fights wherever I am. Even if I'm on the go, I'll slap it on my phone or my iPad. But for some reason, I chose to listen to music. But anyways, the fight that I did get to see before I made my way to Combat Kings was Sean O'Bannon versus Puja Tomar. And I'm not going to lie to you guys, that fight, okay, Sean O'Bannon got performance of the night, and it makes sense because boy, oh boy, I'm not going to lie. Let's talk about the first round. I'll be honest. Listen, Shauna was doing what she needed to do to win the fight. She was backing Puja up. She was, I forgot the name of the kick she kept throwing. I'll be honest, it was kind of pissing me off because it's just like, you're just rinsing, repeating. Obviously, it's working. But then Puja was pissing me off at the same time because in my head, I'm thinking, you know, this girl is going to throw the same kick because she's literally got her lead leg out there ready at all times. So it's like, do something to counter that. Or maybe try to take her down or something. Or when she throws that, time the kick and catch her, because she did catch her a few times. Every time Shauna would like hop, and then when she throws the kick, in the process of her bringing it down, Puja was able to catch her, I think, a few times. But Puja wasn't doing enough in the first round. She was getting backed up. She was getting picked apart. And yeah, second round, I was literally in between. I was in the middle of doing something. I saw the head kick. I didn't get to see the round prior to that, the second round prior to that. But I saw the head kick and I was like, oh shit. I thought my babes Puja was going to get the job done. But she didn't, unfortunately. But Shauna looked like she was out, but she recovered. Puja got a few follow-up strikes, but unfortunately, I just feel like she got too excited for the finish, and that allowed Shauna to lock up the, I believe it was an armbar. So yeah, shout out to Shauna Bannon, because she was all crying after the fight, and I hear it because I'm not going to lie to you guys, she had to go through some adversity in that fight. And I mean, you nearly lost. You nearly lost, but you pulled it off. you found a way to come back, and you ended up winning the fight. So shouts out to Shauna Bannon. I'm not gonna lie, I think both of them are decent food. I prefer Pooja, but they're both decent food. But know what I'm saying? Shout out to Shauna, shout out to Pooja. Maybe with more experience at a higher level, that will help her. And she's quite small, man. Very short, quite small. She ain't got long limbs. So yeah, but she did all right, man. It's just I think she got too excited with the finish, which enabled Shauna to get the submission. We move on. Kristen Leroy Duncan. I didn't get to see much of this fight because I was in between. Listen, I'm not gonna lie, I was in a rush because when Combat Kings shouted me to pull up, I thought, yeah, it's a good opportunity. So I need to quickly eat. I had to cook, eat, and that. But from what I did get to see, Christian Leroy Duncan did enough to win the fight. He was mixing in grappling and striking. I didn't see too much of that fight, but shout out to Christian Leroy Duncan from the UK. We move on. I didn't get to see this fight either, so we're gonna skip that. I'm sorry, guys. You guys know I usually do try to watch all the fights. I was gonna watch this whole card from top to bottom just because it was in the UK, but like I said, because I was busy cooking and I was in a rush trying to pull up to Combat Kings, I wasn't able to watch every single fight. I got to see Lona Kavanagh. I made sure I was watching that, but I was in between doing things. First round, Felipe Dos Santos looked like he was getting the better in terms of the striking. I think he cut Lona Kavanagh in the first round. Then second and third round, Lona Kavanagh came out and thought, yeah, I've got the grappling in my arsenal. He pulled out the grappling, and it wasn't even like it was boring grappling. So shouts out to Lona Kavanagh. I like his style so far. I like what he does. I mean, he did what he needed to do to win. And to be honest, I don't know much about Felipe Dos Santos, but it seemed like him and Lona Kavanagh were quite evenly matched. So Lona Kavanagh did the right thing by using his IQ, which we're going to get onto people not using their fucking IQ later in the video. Yeah, because there's some fucking dum-dums at the highest level of MMA, which I find crazy. Obviously, I know when shit goes left and shit hits the fan, you start to panic. But boy, some guy. But anyway, we'll get into that later. But Lona Kavanagh, great IQ. He did what he needed to do to win the fight. So shouts out to Lona Kavanagh. Jai Herbert, Chris Padilla. I didn't get to see that. I believe I was on the way to Combat Kings when this fight took place. Even Nathaniel Wood, I didn't get to watch Nathaniel Wood because I was on the way to Combat Kings. I got to Combat Kings just in time for Jordan Fusenik versus Chris Duncan, but I got there in between the first round, and literally as I was arriving, man like Greeny, he's part of the Combat Kings team. As we're walking, because obviously man like Rims came to get me because where I pulled up, obviously it wasn't exactly where the location was, so he had to come and get me to bring me into the space and whatever. And as we're walking back into their space, Greeny's shouting, and obviously I think someone landed a knockdown or whatever. Second round was what I got to see most of, and I'm not gonna lie, Chris Duncan looked like he was doing his thing. Jordan Vucenic, he looked like he was doing better on the feet, but decided to shoot a takedown for what reason, only God knows. And yeah, that's one of the people that I have to bash for his IQ in terms of this fight. And Christian Duncan got the submission, man. I believe it was a guillotine. I think it was a guillotine. And yeah, I can't talk too much on the fight because, like I said, I only got to see the second round. And the second round was over within a minute and whatever. So, but let's go up the card to Molly McCann versus Alexia Tainara. I'm going to keep it real with you guys. I didn't know anything about Alexia. I didn't know not a thing. Not one thing, mate. Even when I was coming on the UFC website at the time, her picture wasn't even fucking coming up. But guess what, guys? I picked her on the sole purpose that she was a Brazilian and she was a black Brazilian. Listen, I'm not racist, like I've said before. Those that know me, they know I have a very diverse friendship group. I love all colors. But boy, I just knew this black queen all the way from Brazil, Rio de Janeiro, was coming for blood. I knew it. And then you know what even confirmed that? When I was with Combat Kings, we're watching it. Alexia is coming out for her UFC debut. And she is enjoying the moment. She's dancing, taking in the crowd. The thing is, we were having mixed feelings because we were saying, like, she could do all of that and then lose. But she came in there confident because she knew. I'll be honest, she knew what she was coming in there to do. She knew she was coming in there to make Molly tap. You get me? So, yeah, it didn't go past the first round. It was very quick. Obviously, they started off. They looked like they was just feeling each other out with the striking, and then I can't remember the sequence that led up to the takedown. But anyways, Alexia gets the takedown. I'll be honest, as soon as Alexia got the takedown, I knew it was done. Molly did not offer anything once the fight hit the ground, and Alexia, she did her thing, man. I can't lie to you guys. She did her thing, man. A great submission, great finish, great way to make your debut in the UFC. Obviously, Molly McCann is retired now because she's had, I think, is it back-to-back losses? But the last couple of fights, I think in her last 3-4 fights, she's won one of them. And I believe she's fought on the London cards. She fought on the last UK card, which was in Manny. And she lost, I think, by submission. I remember the first UFC event I actually went to and watched at the O2 Arena was when Tom Aspinall headlined against Tibura, and Molly McCann, I think, was the co-main. Was she the co-main? I believe so. And she lost by submission. She just has nothing to offer on the ground, and it's sad. But she's 35 years of age. She's retired now. What's next for her? Maybe she'll go into boxing. I mean, her style favors more boxing, so, you know, good luck to Molly McCann. I mean, she has set the level for women's MMA in the UK. She was the first ever women's MMA fighter from the UK to win a fight in the UFC. So shouts out to her, man. She helped put the UK, well, the UK was already on the map, but she helped to further that. So shouts out to her. Obviously, I'd never really said the best of things about her. But, you know, listen, it takes a strong person, a warrior, to get into that octagon. And, yeah, shouts out to her, man, because it's not an easy thing to do, especially the amount of time she's done it. So shouts out to her. Sad way to go out, but I understand it. She clearly can't compete with the best of the best. She was never going to get to the belt. I mean, because I'm not gonna lie, even in that division, quite a few of the women are good grapplers. So yeah, man, it makes sense why Molly couldn't work her way up. But yeah, we move on to Gunnar Nelson versus Kevin Holland. Obviously, this went to a decision. I believe I picked Kevin Holland anyways to win, and it's crazy because Gunnar Nelson was saved by the bell in the first round. Obviously, he took Holland down. I think he had Holland down for most of the round, but Holland was doing well, you know, with his long limbs. man like Daddy long legs was using his fucking long limbs to keep himself safe on his back. And then just before the round ended, Holland landed, I think it was a nice 1-2 combo. The right hand landed perfectly and it put Gunnar Nelson on his back. And I'll be honest, he got saved by the bell, because even when he got up after the bell, you could see his legs were gone. So he's lucky. If Kevin had followed up with, if the bell didn't go and Kevin had followed up with one more shot, the fight would have been stopped. But yeah, the whole fight, all I really saw was Gunnar. I'll be honest, standing up, Gunnar looked shit. He looked terrible. He's got a very similar style to what Conor McGregor used to have, in terms of like their stance and whatnot. But Gunnar was pretty much trying to, take it to the ground the whole fight, because obviously that's where he's comfortable. Kevin was doing all right on the feet, but because Gunnar was shooting for takedowns and, trying to get the ground control and the clinch control as well, Kevin wasn't able to do much on the feet. But even when Kevin was on his back, he was the one being more active. He was landing the better shots. He even tried to go for submissions a few times. Even in the clinches, Kevin Holland was landing knees. So yeah, Kevin Holland did well. I mean, it was difficult because you got a guy who's obviously good on the ground, and that's his bread and butter, and that's where he wanted the fight to go. But Kevin Holland did very good. But obviously, it's Gunnar Nelson. Not trying to take anything away from Gunnar Nelson or Kevin Holland's win, but come on, guys. But yeah, half serious, Kevin Holland came and conquered. So shouts out to Kevin Holland. And to be honest, I think, we got performance of the night for that. Fucking hell. I think he should stay at welterweight. I think the guys at middleweight are just too big for him, because once they take him down, it's like they're too strong, too big. It might not even be the strength. It might just be because they're too big, because that's a lot of weight you've got to shift off of you. So, but shouts out to Kevin. Great performance. We move on to the co-main event, which was Jan Blachowicz versus Carlos Ulberg. I ain't really got much to say about this fight because it was quite boring. But you see what people don't understand, and I've said this so many times, when you get two high-level fighters, fights tend to be quite boring. Because at the end of the day, it's chess, not checkers. So, first round, I'll probably give it to Jan. Second round, I'll give it to Ulberg. There weren't really much going on. And the thing is, I know a lot of people are saying, they think Jan won. But I just don't think he done enough. I'll probably rewatch the fight to have a second opinion on it, because I like to, when I'm not 100% sure, I like to watch these fights back to make sure I have a clear opinion. But as it stands right now, from what I can remember, Jan in the last, I can't remember, maybe it was the last 30 seconds of the fight, he stepped on the gas. He was catching Ulberg a bit. There was even a few times in the fight where Jan was landing a good jab, but so was Ulberg. I do think Jan was landing the better leg kicks. You could see the low kicks were hurting Ulberg. His leg was swollen. Jan was checking a lot more leg kicks than Ulberg was. So, I would say Jan was probably got the cleanest strikes. But I just don't think Jan did enough. I think Carlos was the more active fighter. I think Carlos was pushing the pace a bit more. Neither of them really did much, but I think Ulberg did more than Jan. Like I said, I do think Jan probably landed the more significant shots, but Ulberg did more. But like I said, I will watch back the fight. I'll look at the stats after I watch it for a second time and see what I'm saying. To be honest, I wouldn't have been mad if that was scored a draw, but obviously they've been doing Blachowicz dirty for a while now, so yeah. But that fight was a bit disappointing, because even when I was asking people questions on the day pre-fight, listen, if you guys have watched the video, you'll see a lot of people were saying the fight they're most looking forward to is Jan Blachowicz versus Carlos Ulberg. Unfortunately, it didn't live up to it. But like I said, when you have two high-level fighters, fights tend to be boring. But shouts out to all my guys from Poland. All the guys that I met on Saturday from Poland, because there was a lot of guys that came down from Poland just to show support for Jan Blachowicz. And yeah, man, me and Polish people have always gotten quite well. So shouts out to you guys, man. Because honestly, when I was there at the O2, like in terms of ethnicity, they were probably one of the most people that I saw on the day. Like, they were everywhere. I was seeing Polish flags everywhere. So shouts out to you lot. You lot are strong people. So, you know, built for fighting. I can definitely say that. So, yeah. We move on to the main event, which was the Yardie boy versus Sean Brady. Know what I'm saying? Sean Brady. Hey, Leon, how you letting two guys come to your ends, man? Obviously, I know you from Birmingham and that, man, but how you letting two guys from America come over to the UK and deal with you, man? You got bullied not once, but twice, nigga. What's wrong with you, man? Damn, Leon Rocky Edwards. I ain't gonna lie to you guys, that guy fucking disappointed me. And you see, when I was, obviously I picked Leon to win, but when I was saying to everyone, this is a harder matchup for Leon than Jack Maddalena, everyone was saying, you think so? You think so? You think so? Are you fucking crazy? The fight with GDM favoured Leon more because it's going to be a striking fight. Leon struggles against wrestlers. He struggles against grapplers. And I'm not going to lie to you guys. As I was watching the fight with Combat Kings, I actually said, I think it was in round 1 or 2, towards the end of round 1, or maybe midway through round 2, whenever it was before the fight finished anyways. I said, this fight reminds me of the first time Leon fought Kamaru Usman. But guess what? I'm going to keep it real. I'm actually going to keep it real. You see, Leon, you have me taking off my fucking glasses. Because I'm fucking irritated. We are going to get on to the stupid IQ moments later on. But you see, I'm not going to lie. Kamaru. I ain't gonna lie, guys. I was so happy when Leon knocked out Kamaru Edwards. So happy. And I'm fucking Nigerian as well, you know. So, Leon, I was going against my brother for you, bro. Yeah? I was happy. But I'm going to keep it real. I'm going to keep it 100. Ever since then, we have seen nothing but absolute shite performances. There's no hunger. There's no dog. There's no heart. There's no fucking brave. Like, bruv, what the fuck, Leon? What the actual fuck? And you know what, guys? I'm going to keep it real. Because, listen, this is not... People are going to say, oh, he's getting old. Listen, Leon's still in his prime. Leon is still in his prime. You guys do realize a man's prime starts at, let's say, 24, 25, 26. That's when you start creeping into your prime. Boom. 30, 32s, 33s, you're at like the pinnacle of your prime. And then obviously 34s, 35s, some people, they can still slightly be in their prime, but you do start to slow down a little bit. That's the body naturally. So it's not like he's out of his prime. He's still in his prime. He's 32 or what, 33. Like, but I'm gonna be honest, yeah. This is making me question whether Leon would, and to be honest with you guys, he has very good striking. I'll give it to Leon. Very, 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 very good striking. But as an overall MMA fighter, I don't think he's the greatest. But yeah, let's talk about the fight anyways. before I get too carried away. But round one starts off on the feet. They're exchanging, but I'm not gonna lie. Sean Brady looked like he was getting the better in the exchanges. Sean then ends up taking Leon down. Leon has nothing to offer. Don't get me wrong. Throughout the whole fight, even in general, when Leon gets taken down, apart from the first fight with Kamaru, he does well at getting to different positions. So cool, he could be in a bad position. He'll find a way to get himself out. He's good at that. But he's not really good at getting himself into a position of safety. Like he can change position, but it's not like that position has made him any safer, if that makes sense. But yeah, round one, they start off exchanging. Sean Brady, to me, was getting the better in the exchanges. Round two comes. I believe Sean took him down for most of that round. Leon had nothing to offer. I'll be honest, he was getting ragdolled a bit. He was getting bullied. And then the third round, you're doing well in the striking, but you decide to shoot for a fucking takedown like a fucking imbecile. What the fuck, Leon? What? Bro, did you see how far Sean Brady was away from you? And you shot. You see, I'm going to keep it real. You see, when I saw that shot, I knew it was done. That man was done. Done. I knew it. And you know the baddest thing is, from when that fight started, me, Greeny, Rims, obviously I've said, for those of you that still don't get it, they're from Combat Kings, because I know some people will be watching this video and then by the time they get there, they're going to be like, who the fuck's Greeny and Rims? Combat Kings. We were saying from the first round, the head kick was there. The head kick was actually there for Leon Edwards to land on Sean Brady, especially because of the height difference. Like, it was actually there. But Leon, your IQ, it's mad because you did an interview and you were saying your IQ, you think you have one of the best IQs in the game, and this performance showed that you definitely don't. Because you was doing well on the feet. Just before that, you landed a good elbow, but you decided to shoot. Make it make sense, man. Listen, I think this version of Tom Brady gives Bilal a much harder fight than the first one. I think if anything, next they should do Sean Brady versus Jaquan Buckley. I want to see what Buckley can offer. And I'll be real. I'm going to keep it real, guys. I think if they give Edwards to Buckley, you're going to see what happens. I think Buckley stops Leon. Leon just ain't got that dog in him. I'll be honest. He hasn't. Even that fight against Sean Brady, you should have went out. You initiated the takedown and put yourself in that position. So you know what you should have done? You should have let him choke you out. You should have, as Khabib would say, you should have gone to sleep. You tap like chicken. Why you tap? Go to sleep. You tap like chicken. Yeah? That's what you should have done. You should have gone to sleep, bro. Big man thing. But yeah, that Sean Brady, I'm guessing he will take Leon's spot now. But I reckon they should do Sean Brady versus Jaquan Buckley and Leon Edwards. I'll be honest, I don't even know what's next for him. To be honest, I don't really give. It's mad because I liked Leon. I liked him. But as an overall fighter, he's just not the greatest, man. What's next for him? I couldn't tell you, man, because I've said this from when he won the belt. The problem Leon Edwards has is that he's going to fight a lot of grapplers. But what I will say is, everyone I spoke to on Saturday before the fight, and even leading up to the fight, this was my opinion as well, is that Leon needs to be on the front foot. If Leon was on the front foot, I think he would have won that fight. But Sean was doing well. He was the one backing Leon up. So shouts out to Sean Brady, man. He did very well. But you see, this is my problem with strikers like Leon Edwards and Alex Pereira. I feel like these elite strikers for them to really get their game plan to follow through in the fight, they have to be on the front foot. Most of these, it's not like boxing, you know. Boxing's a bit different, man. Like boxing, you can use your foot movement. You've got the ring to circle out, and you got the ropes to kind of help you. And I feel like in boxing, you're gonna see more finish. You'll see a lot more finishes from fighters on the back foot than you would in MMA, because when you get backed up against that cage, that's the dangerous zone. It's not like the rings where you can use the ring to kind of, you know, lay on a little bit and whatnot. But yeah, elite strikers like Leon and Alex Pereira, for them to win fights, they have to be on the front foot. That's just my opinion, and that's my observation. I've seen it time and time again in MMA. Obviously, boxing's a bit different. Obviously, even in boxing, it's a bit different because you can slip punches. And obviously, with boxing, you can slip your punches a lot more lower. Do you know what I mean? In MMA, you can't really do that, because you do that, you could potentially get knocked out. You dip your head too low. You get a knee straight to the head. Do you know what I mean? So, but yeah, man. Overall, the card, I'd probably rank it a 4 out of 10. On the night, I thought I would be generous. I gave it a 6 out of 10, but I'm going to give it a 4/5 out of 10. Wasn't the greatest card. They violate us when it comes to the UK. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like and subscribe. I hope you guys enjoyed my video of interviewing MMA fans. I'm going to try to get a lot more content like that. Obviously, the UFC doesn't come down too often, but I'm going to try to head down to some Cage Warriors events. Those of you that know about the regional scene, you'll know about like Fight Stars Championship. They're going to be in the O2, I think, next month or the month after. So I'll try to come down as well, get some interviews with some fans and whatnot. So, but yeah, man, I told you, 2025, we're going to stay active, man. I've been posting a lot more content. And I've been getting a lot more engagement. So that means you guys obviously like the videos. But yeah, man, comment, like, subscribe. Even if there's some things you want me to cover, comment them or DM me on Instagram. But yeah, it's Big Yems. I'm out. Leon, stop fighting like a Jamu that is on the ganja. In fact, that night, I hope you went home and you smoked a fat one, because that loss. Somebody even said in the comment section on one of Comeback King's posts, they said they saw your bald patch go red, and from that they knew it was over. You see, Leon, you are becoming a meme too much. I'm not going to lie you. I just remembered. You see, when your coach was telling you, don't let Kamaru bully you. Don't let him bully you, son. I'm not going to lie. That wasn't even bullying. That man, Brady, he bullied you, my friend, in a bit.